Quack. 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 12 and oh! I am your host, Adam Jamale.
And I'm Aaron Schroeder.
That's right. This is the Quack 12 podcast, the most unofficial Oregon Ducks podcast on the web footosphere. And y'all, we all got a W. That's right. We were hungry for W's, and we ate that W because we beat the BYU Cougars. I almost forgot that last letter. The BYU Cougars, and it was glorious. It felt so damn good. Listeners of the Patreon, the Quack 12 Patreon, which obviously I'm going to plug right here, over there, they already know that I actually had to miss the live viewing of this game, Aaron, because I had to go to a very special wedding. That nonetheless happened on football Saturday, the hardest kind. Why didn't it happen last week? Because the game against Eastern Washington, that game wasn't much of a game. BYU would have rather watched it in time. But it was the wedding of my mom. It was a great wedding, great game. It all lined up pretty well where I got to see the sense that, oh, hey, we're kicking ass. I can fully concentrate on the wedding here. So it all worked out perfectly. Aaron, you watched this game?
I watched it live, my dude.
Oh, my God. It was a fun game, wasn't it? I mean, if you're a Duck fan.
I was honestly really stoked to see the Extreme Fortress. But before I go into any other further details, since you got to mention it, I would like to say we just recorded a brand new episode of Quacking Off, which is available on Patreon. But inside that episode, I gave the wrong name to the show that my friend Jordan Eskenazi has, and I would like to correct that now, if I may.
What is the show, and what is it called, and what does he do?
The show is Everything's Fine Tonight with Jordan Eskenazi. It's a Twitch show, and I believe it's also goes to other social media platforms. But everybody should go check it out, and I just wanted to make sure that I corrected that on the air so that those who are in the know.
What does it do? What is the website? Just so
it's a talk show.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great talk show now. Everything's fine
tonight with Jordan Eskenazi. It's a comedy talk show. He's excruciatingly funny. He's in the scene here in Seattle. He does a bunch of sketch stuff. Also, just an absolutely beautiful human being.
Also a great name for kind of like a disco club song, like Everything's Fine Tonight. Everything's fine tonight. Isn't that good? Something like that.
You gotta have like that big long reverb.
Hell yeah, let's do it. We'll have that ready by next show, everyone.
But I will say this: it's interesting because, as you noted in the Quacking Off episode, you weren't able to really watch it, but the whole time when you were checking up on it, you felt like, oh, good, we're still slaying, we're still doing it. However, as soon as Ty Thompson showed up,
that is a market.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Are they actually going to rally? Because it felt like they could rally. So in the moment watching it, it was just like,
I don't think you're the only person. Yeah. And I should say this. I watched it. So all last night, I had the whole thing. I finally was able to sit down, watch every single play of this game.
Yeah.
And you were definitely not the only person, I think, that felt like. I mean, just because we've seen it before, right? We've seen Oregon teams even as of late, kind of, in recent history. Just you got it's fair to be like a little shell-shocked of like, oh, God, this lead's just going to erase, even though we did have a really good lead. And not only that, but it was, and I don't want to throw too much shade at Ty Thompson.
There should be none.
Well, it's one of those things where, you know what I mean? He is the backup. He doesn't get that much playing time in his young career. Because, again, he's only 2 years. He's still like a freshman technically. Like he's still very young. He's still developing. But it makes it so it's like every play that he has is kind of more important at least towards his like what we see as fans.
Are you referencing the interception?
Well, I'm talking about the interception, but just in general, just like stats wise and stuff like that. That first, not the first interception, but that first play, I think that was a pretty bad throw. Because first of all, his mechanics just looked really awkward. I'm not like the guy who should be talking about like QB mechanics or something like that. Because I'm really not knowing. But he's out there looking like a robot, looking as awkward as just an average person not knowing what to do.
Well,
he was just like, he's here. And then he takes an awkward, like, kind of like right. And then it's just like, because he's telegraphing so directly the throw that he's just about to make.
Telegraphing means where you're looking?
Yeah, like just like showing the defense by with his eyes and his body language. He's like, yes, this is clearly like a screen that I'm about to throw. And you can just see the defense once his eyes are locked on. I think I want to say it's to Marquis Serving. I have it written down somewhere, but because his eyes are so locked on, they just like light him up. And because the pass is backwards, it counts as more of like a lateral, So that means if he doesn't catch it, that's a live ball, as you saw in that situation. So then they had to scramble to go get the live ball, and then it was like whatever it was, second and like 25 or something like that. And so then it was so much of a deep hole that whole drive kind of felt like, this ain't gonna. Yeah, it was second and 36. That's right. So it was to Seven McGee because he just telegraphs it so obviously. Like, yep, this is going to Seven McGee. They light him up. He fumbles what was a backwards pass. So then it's 3rd and 25 or 2nd and 36, and at that point you're just trying to pick it up on you're trying to just do damage control. They did get it back to 3rd and 20 or 3rd and 15 or something like that due to a quick pass to Herbert, but then it was too little too much. So that drive was just done after that.
Too little too much?
Yeah, that makes sense. Do not question me. That is exactly what I meant to say. Thank you for quoting me. I'm sure that's what you meant.
Yeah, I
that's a t-shirt. Now that's
the wrong inflection on the ending. I now realize that. Too little too much.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Sorry.
And then he was out there on.
I've been told my tone can be misleading.
On the next drive, he's out there again, and that interception was not his fault, as we all saw. It hit the man who I believe it was Dante Thornton Jr., I do believe, who's typically a really good receiver, Hit him in the hands. He definitely should have had it. Go. And once tipped balls are absolutely that should have been an interception, and it was an interception. So I'm not going to really put that on him. And even on that drive started out with, I guess, an illegal substitution. So that put them on 1st and 15 to start with. So that is tough. But, I mean, I think we have a clear answer of why did we get the transfer? Why did we bring in Bo Nix when hopefully Ty Thompson, because he's the highest rated recruit so far that's, ever come to the Ducks. He should be starting. He should be ready to go right now. I think maybe it's not clear because we're not actually getting good sample sizes, but I think it's fair to assume that Ty Thompson isn't necessarily 100% ready to fully stay in there, or at least we take a full step back. I don't know how many steps back, but it feels like at least one metaphorical step back when Bo Nix is not on the field, because Bo Nix is looking really sure of himself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, made some good. I mean, that pass to Troy Franklin. Oh, that
my gosh. 67-yard or whatever.
Yep.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, that was the play of the game, definitely for Oregon. Well, and it proved something where it's that's what he attempted to do with Seven McGee against Georgia, but it ended up being an interception because Georgia has amazing players. I think it was Starks, I forget. But that's he's attempting to put it in a place where if it's a miracle catch, then only his receiver should get it. But otherwise, the defensive back shouldn't be able to, like, or sometimes you'll.
Okay, maybe Adam's gone. If you're watching me, I just